Okay, we'll start with questions around the room. Please raise your hand, and we've got microphones on each side. We'll start right over here. Tim on one.
Hey, Mos.
Hey.
Indiana talked quite a bit about this experience being a bit of a springboard to what they went on to do over the next 18 months. We all know what losing here meant to the Thunder and what they learned from it last year. How much of an education do you think your team can get playing 1 or 2 games here, just about the bright lights and this format and a trophy and all that good stuff?
No, I think it's great for our guys. Speaking with some of the guys from Indiana, knowing some of the coaches there, being able to, lean into that experience that they had. But it's great for the guys, the bright lights, the stakes. I think these guys understand exactly what, is at stake, and, the intensity, the focus, the game planning that you have to go through. I think those are such great pieces for us to experience.
Next question on the front row on the left.
Coach, how much progress have you guys made from opening night to now?
I think there's been a ton. I think us being able to keep creating the chemistry, following our principles, setting our standard, and then just following the process throughout each and every single game. Our guys knowing what we're asking of them, them communicating to one another about what it looks like on the floor, but there's that chemistry and camaraderie just keeps continuing to build. And, being here in Vegas also adds to that.
What is the energy like in practice today, and just what was the message to the team after practice?
No, the energy is great. These guys are feeling and seeing, what it's like, all the media attention, the different focus, that it will try to distract you. But our guys have really locked into what it is for the game plan, obviously playing New York again. But our guys are really locked into what it is. The energy is great. They feel good about it. Again, I'll keep talking about the chemistry and camaraderie that keeps being built each and every single day, and just Vegas being able to provide that.
On your right, second row.
Coach, you have such a young squad. I think the oldest guy on the team is 29 years old, Tyus Jones, right? So back to 2021, when you start coaching this team, do you feel like you need to adjust yourself to just get through them and make them to understand what you want them to do?
When we first got here as a coaching staff, we talked about the growth of each guy. Finding the development, and we're always going to be about development, but there's different phases that you go through that development. And guys now, with the stakes and the expectation, understanding that standards continue to rise, and that's what we've done with this group. We're going to continue to play hard. They're going to continue to fight for one another, but with more stakes, I have to change because now helping them understand exactly what it means to win at a high level. You're always growing, you're always getting better, but I think that's when you focus in more on the details of the process of what you're trying to accomplish.
Right in the front.
You guys have had 2 playoff series under your belt now. How much confidence does that give you going into a game with some stakes, and as you try to level up and try to compete for something bigger throughout the season?
It helps out a lot. Our guys are really understanding game planning, the tendencies of guys, knowing how to focus in on those things, and understanding the value of each possession within the game.
Tim?
Jamahl, you guys have a West Coast trip, or had a West Coast trip coming up. I imagine travel's probably contingent on how you do tomorrow, but it is, like Doc talked about it, like they played here and got thumped after they won it because it's just too hard to squeeze this in. Do you know what you guys are going to do? Are you staying out here? Are you going home? Either way, like how will this work?
Yeah, us right now, we've talked about it as a staff, and our travel party, knowing what we think about doing. You stay for a moment, but if you don't get it, then you have to get back home because that's a lot of time being away from family, and then we have to bump back in. We'll go back out to Denver after that. But what we've really tried to focus in on is just let's take care of Saturday and then see what happens from there.
Is it a downside? Look, they're playing for a trophy, playing for money. All that stuff's great, and I think everybody seems to like it. There is the reality that the schedule that was in place awaits you. Is there a hope like this could be tweaked or something? And do you see an issue with it, I guess?
I really think the league does a good job of trying to put it all into place, and the schedule is what it's going to be in so many ways. We basically started our season off with like 3 and 4 nights 3 times, and so you're not going to get away from that. That's part of what the league is, and we embrace it, and we've always talked about the right recovery, the right attitude towards it, because it's not changing. And I think our ability to adjust to what that is what our guys are learning and continuing to do.
Josh, over here on the right.
Coach, how much was Jalen limited by the groin issue, or whatever it was that he tweaked on Sunday in the quarterfinal, and how much will he be impacted with his movement tomorrow?
Yeah, right now he's in a good space. I think what he did was it did allow him just to slow down and play more detailed and locked in defense, as well as calming down and slowing down on the offensive end. But again, I don't know how limited he was. It wasn't 100%. But at the end of the day, that's why Jalen is who he is, because he finds a way to push through, and he's able to do that, because of his toughness and his competitive edge.
In your career coaching people, how many players have the pain tolerance that he has?
There's over years there hasn't been many that are able to do the things that he's capable of do. You see him go down with big hits, and then he's able to bounce back. So if he's out, there's something really going on. But he's able to push through a lot of the pain.
Tim, last question, back left.
Jamahl, I know Tim was just talking about the schedule a little bit, but next year the semifinal game would be in Orlando. You'd have another home game. I know it's cool to be here. You guys haven't had a chance to experience this yet, but do you like that tweak that if you have the #1 seed like you guys did, you get an extra home game and you come to Vegas for the championship game, but for these games that count in the schedule, they both in that sense be in Orlando.
Oh, absolutely. Who wouldn't want to take home court advantage? Absolutely.
Do you think that change makes sense for just having the environment you guys had for that quarterfinal, to have that again for the semifinal, and then to have just the one game here instead of two?
Yeah, I think it's similar to playoffs. You earn the right to get the higher seed, and you get to take care of home. I think that's very important. And as the league continues to make adjustments, as they see and they get the feedback from you all as well as the fans, and understanding what works and what doesn't work, the league will continue to do a great job of making those adjustments. But I don't think I'll be opposed to getting home court. If you happen to be the #1 seed next year.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all.